What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It is the TheFlyYoungGentleman here. I apologize, my voice is a little bit more hoarse than usual today. I was on the phone all fucking day, so you have to understand. But I wanted to sit here and prefix this video. I will have a whole video on all the little goodies we got with this DLC, as well as this video here is going to be on the weapon balancing, which is massively needed, and we got it, and it's beautiful, as well as a few other little in-game updates. But the new weapon, I will do a talk about that, as well as review that gun later on. And there's a whole bunch of other little goodies that came with this DLC that we will talk about more in depth. But let's start with the initial patch notes, and we'll get into that in the next video. Now, moving right into it, the DLC, the very first DLC, Havoc, is now all on PC. You get everything. It's all dropped to you guys. So have fun with that, guys. Now, the in-game updates, this is not weapon balancing. That's coming up next. I know. But the full royalty character loot set is unlocked, so everyone can earn it now. That's kind of cool. I know a lot of people are obsessed with that shit for some reason, but here you go. Now, these next two are a little bit subjective, and we're really going to have to play around with it. But connectivity optimizations, as well as connectivity and matchmaking improvements when in a party. Like I said, we're going to have to see in a little bit, the upcoming time here. No one really is going to be able to test that yet. Now this goes into the more goodies kind of thing, but we'll have to also address it now, is they added 15 Master Prestige ranks and a Grand Master Prestige. Now, there is some goodies that come with going after the Max Prestige. There is some goodies that come along with prestiging after that, and I will talk about that in my next video, so make sure you guys stay tuned for that. Now, they also added 15 more daily supply drop challenges. That shit is cool, but it's good. It adds a little bit more reason to play the game, I guess. It's not a bad thing. They fixed the rare issue where players were not able to spawn into the game. That is definitely something I have experienced at least 5, 6, 7 times, and it's been horrible. So I'm very glad they fixed that, and that is one I actually have experienced, one of the weird ones I have experienced. Fixed the sound of the SAC-3 with the suppressor attachment to not play in stereo to all players on the map. That's a big deal for sound hoarding. Even though sound hoarding in this game is near trash, it definitely was that you were able to do it when you could tell when someone had the SAC-3s with suppressors. You could hear it. No bullshit. They also fixed the rare issue where players would spawn without a gun. That one I sadly did not experience, so I cannot tell you how it happened. But it definitely, that would suck really bad. I'm glad they fixed it up. Next, they now will show you when a player does not have the map pack when you're in, when they don't have the DLC, they join your party, and it'll tell you that they don't have the DLC, which is cool. So you don't have to ask, randoms you pick up if they have the DLC or not. They added the ability for purchased creator class slots to appear in private matches. Cool, it doesn't really affect me. I'm not going to buy that shit. Xbox One, connectivity improvement to Xbox Live servers when returning from energy saving mode. Cool, never noticed the problem there, but now I guess there you go. Xbox One and Xbox 360 fixed a rare crash issue when signing out with one player while split screen. I actually have experienced that issue, but that was a long time. I thought they fixed that already, but here you go, they fixed it. Xbox 360 reduced the max number of players in a private match to 10. That's very strange. They didn't say anything else. That's all they said. They reduced it. No, they didn't give any reasoning. Now, here is the big fucking deal. Here is the game-changing shit that they needed to fucking add. This is the shit that'll make it so that every game is not a Bell 27 HBR. And then that new gun we got, which is a fucking beast I'll talk about later, that's not what every lobby is. Now you're going to get some new guns, and there's some fixes to a gun that I personally love and have been using, even though it really isn't good. But now it actually is one of the greater weapons. Now, moving straight into it, the heavy weapons balanced increased player movement speed by 5%. So now we move at 85% movement speed, which is definitely a good little addition. It'll make it so the EM1, you don't feel like a goddamn slug. Now, this also is great for the new weapon they added because it is under the heavy weapon category, although it doesn't feel like one. Next, they corrected the scopes on the AE4. I actually noticed this one, and a lot of people didn't seem to notice it when I talked to my friends about it, but it is a big deal. Now, the reason I noticed it is because I played a lot of hardcore during Diamond Clan Wars, and I did notice that, you know, since the AE4 is still, even with the new gun coming out, undebatably the best gun in hardcore, because it's a one-shot with unlimited ammo and a decent fire rate. But you could tell how inaccurate the gun is because you would miss a lot because, you know, it's a lot easier to tell when they don't die instantly than when you get hit markers. So that's definitely great that they fixed that up. The MK14, they reduced the recoil. That gun's still trash. It doesn't matter if it had 0 recoil. Trash. Don't use it. Now, this is the one that I was talking about earlier. The ARX-160 now has an increased magazine size. And according to Drifter, shoutouts to you, you're a great YouTuber, he also was saying that the rate of fire was increased to 900 RPM. If that is the case, then this gun is even better than it originally was. And it really, it's horrible. But I personally love the feel of the gun. I love the reload animations. And that's a gun I use all the time. And now I really have reason to use it. And it will be far more competitive when I'm playing with all the sweaty tryhards. So, great. The AMR9 now has increased damage. And they have a decreased burst delay time. So this gun is definitely far more usable. But it's still a sack of shit. But if you do have the Pro Pipe or something, then it will still be a great gun. For the Pro Pipe variant alone. The SN6, they say they reduced the recoil. That is very cool. Very great, because that gun, there's no reason to use it whatsoever. There's better guns there. But now it has a more accurate approach, so that'll be a lot more fun to use. The KF5, the mid-damage range increase. So now the KF5, now that we'll talk about it in a minute. The Atlas 45, now the mid-range damage increased. They had a typo there, and the max damage range increased. So pretty much the Atlas 45 is better than the MK14. So if you want to use the MK14, just use the Atlas 45. There you go. The PDW, they increased the damage on that, so that's good. Now it's not a fucking water gun. Cool. Shotguns, they reduced the spread when using Gung Ho. Now Gung Ho is actually useful on a shotgun. Huh, never would have guessed it. The S12 got an increased fire rate and increased damage. Very good. And we'll talk about that in a minute. The EPM3 got reduced recoil. Honestly, who knows? The MK14 and the EPM3 are useless. So honest to God, no one gives a fuck. And the Lynx got reduced recoil. Still straight garbage. Might as well not use it. And now, here comes a big bad fucking thing that they needed to do. The ASM1 got nerfed. They slightly reduced the initial fire rate. My ass, they did. According to Drifter, they reduced it from 1,000 RPM to 720. That's a big fucking deal. Now the SM1 is it's still an amazing gun, but it does not melt as well as it once did. Now the playing field has been set a lot more even. There is a lot of weapons you can use now that are really, really advantageous on the battlefield and that'll feel special and unique and good and have their own unique reasons to use. And that's why we have that new gun that I'm going to be talking about in the next video called the Ohm. That is a monster and is completely competitive. And anyone who disagrees, you must have smoked the fattest bowl of crack this morning. So now that we have the craziest fucking balancing that we needed, and there's still some more that we need, but this definitely will hold me over. They have a bunch of other little patch notes here that honestly I don't think anyone's going to give a fuck about. So it's really great, and they've done a lot of great things. So I'm very excited to see. I will see you guys in the next video. I know I will. And I will remember to have class, get that ass, have a great day, and get ready to see my gameplays with the Ohm. This thing is a fucking monster. And I don't say that to anything but the Bal 27 and the HBR A3 Insanity. And the ASM1, okay, fine. But it is a fucking monster, guys. So I'm excited to show you guys some badass gameplay, as well as bring you a review and talk about some other goodies that came in the update. So remember to have class, get that ass once again, and I will see you guys in the next fucking video. Take it easy. Have a good day.